Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump call for a decisive fight against terrorism during Howdy-Modi event at Houston. Prime Minister to address the 74th session of United Nations General Assembly in New York. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat says terror camp in Pakistan's Balakot reactivated and Indian forces on alert to face any hostile situation. Voting underway for 4 assembly by-elections in Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala and Tripura. Ayushman Bharat scheme completes 1 year of its launch. And Sensex soars over 1,100 points to reclaim 39,000 level mark this afternoon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given a clarion call for a decisive fight against terrorism and its proponents. Addressing the historic Howdy-Modi event, attended by 50,000 Indian Americans at Houston last night, the Prime Minister said, "Time has come to wipe out the menace of terrorism." US President Donald Trump also joined him in a rare gesture of friendship. Without naming any country, Mr. Modi said the whole world knows who is aiding and abetting terrorists, and President Trump stands solidly in the battle against terrorism.
अमेरिका में 9/11 हो या मुंबई में 26/11 हो, उसके साजिशकर्ता कहां पाए जाते हैं? अब समय आ गया है कि आतंकवाद के खिलाफ और आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा देने वालों के खिलाफ निर्णायक लड़ाई लड़ी जाए.
Mr. Modi said India's decision to nullify Article 370 has caused trouble to those who cannot handle their country.
आर्टिकल 370 ने जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख के लोगों को विकास से और समान अधिकारों से वंचित रखा था. इस स्थिति का लाभ आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद बढ़ाने वाली ताकतें उठा रही थी.
Addressing the event, President Trump said they are working to eradicate terrorism. Mr. Trump praised Modi government's economic reforms and said these reforms have lifted nearly 300 million people out of poverty.
Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, the world is witnessing a strong, sovereign and thriving Republic of India. With the help of Prime Minister Modi's pro-growth reforms, India has lifted nearly 300 million people out of poverty, and that is an incredible number.
A top India-centric strategic and advocacy group and US mainstream media have welcomed the joint address by Prime Minister Modi and the US President. President of the US-India Strategic and Partnership Forum, Mukesh Aghi, said that the joint address was a triumphant moment for the India-US bilateral ties. Eminent venture capitalist and philanthropist M.R. Rangaswamy, the founder of India's Spora, said that events like Howdy-Modi help the community become more relevant in the United States. The Wall Street Journal said the joint appearance underscores the growing strategic significance of US-India ties. The New York Times said the rally brought together 2 leaders with similar styles. It added both rose to power by portraying themselves as champions of the masses, fighting against an entrenched establishment. The Washington Post said the leaders of the world's 2 largest democracies took the stage together in Houston before a roaring crowd of tens of thousands of Indian Americans. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 74th session of United Nations General Assembly and participate in other multilateral and bilateral engagements today. Our correspondent has filed this report on the Prime Minister's important engagements this evening.
Prime Minister will today participate in UN Secretary General Summit on Climate Change. He will also attend a high-level meeting on universal health coverage and leaders' dialogue on strategic responses to terrorist and violent extremist narratives at the UN headquarters. Mr. Modi is scheduled to have bilateral meetings with Amir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, President of Niger, Mohamed Issoufou, Prime Minister of Italy, Giuseppe Conte, President of Namibia, Hage Geingob, and President of Maldives, Ibrahim Mohamed Soli. He will also have meetings with Executive Director of UNICEF, Mrs. Henrietta Fore, with Atul Tiwari, Sobhagyakar for Air News, New York.
The Prime Minister will also inaugurate Gandhi Solar Park at the UN headquarters and Gandhi Peace Garden. On the second leg of his week-long U.S. visit, the Prime Minister arrived in New York late last night after an unprecedented and historic Howdy-Modi event at Houston. A new UN report has said the world is badly lagging behind in the race to avert climate disaster as a result of runaway warming. The reports, which came yesterday ahead of today's major UN climate summit, said that the 5-year period ending 2019 is set to be the hottest ever. The summit will be attended by more than 60 world leaders as Secretary General Antonio Guterres pushes for countries to increase their greenhouse gas reduction targets. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
आज हम मिलेंगे इस गांव की पहली लड़की से जिसने मेडिकल एग्जाम क्लियर करके अपने परिवार का ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे गांव का नाम रोशन किया है। बधाई हो सपना।
थैंक यू।
तैयारी तो सब करते हैं, लेकिन आपने ऐसी क्या खास तैयारी की?
खास तैयारी तो बाबा ने की।
बाबा ने?
4 साल पहले बाबा ने घर पे इज्जत घर बनवाया, तब से बाहर नहीं जाना पड़ा और मैं स्वस्थ और सुरक्षित रह पाई और चैन से पढ़ाई कर पाई। इसी से मेरी तैयारी की शुरुआत हुई।
इज्जत घर के इस्तेमाल से सपना की तरह कई और जिंदगियां बदल रही हैं। इसलिए इज्जत घर का इस्तेमाल करते रहिए, हर कोई, हर रोज, हमेशा।
पेयजल एवं स्वच्छता विभाग, जल शक्ति मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Chief of Army Staff General Bipin Rawat has said terror modules in Balakot are known to have been reactivated and that Indian Defence Forces are always on the alert to face any hostile situation. Talking to reporters in Chennai on the sidelines of a program at the Officers Training Academy in Chennai to launch the Young Leaders Training Wing, he said Balakot terror camps had been destroyed by Indian Air Force earlier, but they have been reactivated recently.
Balakot has been reactivated. So obviously that shows that Balakot was affected. It had been damaged and destroyed, and that is why people had got away from there. It has now been reactivated. Which just goes to highlight that yes, some action had been taken by the Indian Air Force at Balakot, and now they've got the people back there.
General Bipin Rawat further said there is no clampdown in Jammu and Kashmir. He said the perception of a clampdown in Jammu and Kashmir has been attempted to be created by terrorists.
So clampdown actually is a facade being created through a fear psychosis which is being created by the terrorists who want to project that the very harsh measures are being taken. I don't think that is the truth. This is far from the reality.
Home Minister Amit Shah has said the government will complete the massive census exercise in March 2021 and for the first time a National Population Register NPR will be prepared. He said NPR will help in addressing problems ranging from law and order to nutrition. Laying the foundation stone for Jan Ganana Bhavan in New Delhi today, Mr. Shah strongly pitched for raising awareness among the citizens about the importance, role and dimensions of census.
जनगणना कैसे हमारे फ्यूचर प्लानिंग के लिए देश के भविष्य के विकास की एक आधारशिला रखने के लिए लंबे समय की योजनाएं बनाने का भी आधार होती और ये अगर जब तक देश की जनता के सामने नहीं रखेंगे तब तक जनगणना में जन भागीदारी शायद इतनी इन्वॉल्व नहीं होगी जितनी होनी चाहिए.
Voting is underway for assembly by-election to one seat each in Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala and Tripura. These seats are Dantewada in Chhattisgarh, Hamirpur in UP, Pala in Kerala and Badarghat in Tripura. Polling began at 7 a.m. in all the constituencies. The by-poll in Dantewada was necessitated following the death of BJP legislator Bhima Mandvi. Around 43% has been reported till 1 p.m. In Hamirpur, the by-election was necessitated due to the disqualification of sitting Bharatiya Janata Party MLA Ashok Kumar Singh Chandel following his conviction in a murder case. Around 22% people have exercised their franchise till 1 p.m. The Badarghat seat in Tripura fell vacant after the death of sitting MLA Dilip Sarkar. This is All India Radio giving you the news.
बेटा कहाँ चले?
मैं चला पार्क। वहाँ होंगे कॉलोनी के सारे बच्चे। हम सब मिलकर चलाएंगे स्वच्छता का अभियान। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है
हम 2 अक्टूबर से पहले लगभग 2 सप्ताह तक देश भर में स्वच्छता ही सेवा अभियान चलाते हैं। इस बार यह 11 सितंबर से शुरू होगा। इस दौरान हम अपने अपने घरों से बाहर निकलकर श्रमदान के जरिए महात्मा गांधी को कार्यांजलि देंगे। पूरे देश में प्लास्टिक के खिलाफ एक नए जन आंदोलन की नींव रखेंगे।
स्वच्छता का ये अभियान चलाना है और सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को हटाना है।
Ayushman Bharat, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, has completed 1 year of its launch today, and the day is being celebrated as Ayushman Bharat Divas across the country. In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Ayushman Bharat is more than just a healthcare scheme, as it is a beacon of hope to more than 50 crore of India's most vulnerable people. In a tweet, Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan said Ayushman Bharat has been billed as the world's largest government healthcare program. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Chief Executive Officer of Ayushman Bharat, Indu Bhushan, said Centre is taking several initiatives and working on improving the quality of service.
We are improving our IT system. We are also rationalizing health benefit packages, and also the structure of benefit package is being rationalized. And finally, we are working on improving the quality of services in our hospitals, both public and private.
Our correspondent reports Prime Minister Narendra Modi had launched the scheme on this day from Ranchi, Jharkhand last year.
The scheme provides a health cover of 5 lakh rupees annually to vulnerable families and aims at benefiting more than 10 crore poor families all over the country. In the last 1 year, more than 46 lakh beneficiaries have availed cashless treatment under the scheme. This has resulted in saving of over 12,000 crore rupees to the beneficiary families. Currently, 32 states and union territories are implementing the scheme, and more than 10 crore beneficiaries cards have been issued. Over 18,000 hospitals are providing services across the country, out of which more than 50% are private hospitals. With Dipendra Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak Tonight, will bring you a discussion on Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. Listeners can ask questions to the experts sitting in our studio on telephone number 011 2331 4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This program is also available on our Doordarshan DTH. Extending the previous session rally, domestic stocks today zoomed around 3%, even as global indices logged plunge. The Sensex regained 39,000 mark, while the Nifty reclaimed 11,600 level. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange surged 1,119 points to trade at 39,134 a little while ago. The Nifty at National Stock Exchange also gained 332 points to 11,606. International Day of Sign Languages is being observed today. The objective of the day is to raise awareness of the importance of sign language in the full realization of the human rights of people who are deaf. Sign languages are fully fledged natural languages, structurally distinct from the spoken languages. The theme of the day is Sign Language Rights for All. On this day, Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawarchand Gehlot attended the special function held to celebrate Sign Language Day in New Delhi. He distributed awards to the winners of the 2nd Indian Sign Language Competition 2019. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump call for a decisive fight against terrorism during the Howdy-Modi event at Houston. Prime Minister to address the 74th session of United Nations General Assembly in New York. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat says terror camp in Pakistan's Balakot reactivated and Indian forces on alert to face any hostile situation. Voting underway for 4 assembly by-elections in Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala and Tripura. Ayushman Bharat scheme completes 1 year of its launch, and Sensex soars over 1,100 points to reclaim 39,000 level mark this afternoon. And with that, we end the midday news.